Hey, um, if you are somebody who is a friend or a colleague or an associate, a buddy, maybe we work together, we work together, your ex co-worker, or we've crossed paths in this thing called life, and you see you feel good about me as a human being. Maybe in our interaction, I left a positive impact on you. Maybe you saw my light, um, and you again feel good about me as a human being. Yep, sirens. um, but if you're a non-African American and you have those good feelings about me and you're curious about right now, like how you could help, the answer is pressure. Uh, what happened to George Floyd? There was pressure applied to his neck through a knee, and he choked. He choked. He choked to death. That same pressure has to be applied to racism and specifically uh, for law change. There's freedom fighting organizations that are out on the front line that are doing a lot of the legwork required, but they're applying pressure. They need support. Grassrootslaw.org by Shaw King. Know Your Rights Camp by Colin Kaepernick, and Tamika D. Mallory's Until Freedom. Those are three powerful organizations that are working to shine light on victims of police brutality, victims of KKK, Jim Crow inspired hate crimes, and get petitions together to initiate justice for those that are victims, and as well as provide legal support and financial support for the legality of it all, and the families for their life after the unfortunate death. Um, those organizations need your support, um, whether it's petitions, whether it's financial support to help out the legal teams, and just your voice of support works as pressure. Um, Also, your presence is pressure. So when there is something that looks like police brutality and it feels like it, and you happen to be there, um, just stepping in with your presence. Um, Non-African American presence and voice carries more weight in those situations, and your presence can actually save a life. Uh, George Floyd, he needed somebody to step in that was non-African American. He needed somebody to step in that moment on his behalf. Um, and lastly, education, pressure through education. Um, you can, if we can collectively know law, we can effectively do the things required so that we can participate collectively in getting a law change, a big law, a federal law, maybe a Citizens Protection Act that protects any person of color, anybody, any human being from police brutality. And if if your heart is leading you to march, if your heart is leading you to go out and protest in the public space, do so with wisdom, do so strategically, and ultimately, my hope is that you do so, um, peacefully as well. But with all that said, you can help with pressure.